It's Thursday, November the 25th. Tory Sleaze, Aitken, Ashcroft, Archer. Next week, the Bees. Scots drink the most booze, says survey. They had to do a survey? Portillo, gay slurs must stop, says ex-Pope. Please welcome the man who's been polling hard all day long, Mr. Ian Lee.
Hello and welcome to the 11 o'clock show. I'm in the money, I'm in the money. Look at my cheeky smile, huh? And why am I smiling? Because in about an hour's time, I shall be coming into some money. And I don't mean I've got a duvet made of banknotes. As a result of some hush-hush inside information, I have had a rather clever bet. Archer out, Portillo in. A nice big wad for me. Lovely jubbly. If the Queen Mum goes for Christmas, I'm on a treble. Fantastic. No disrespect, you understand. I will be mourning with the rest of the nation, but money's money, and a bet's a bet. Barring a by-election cock-up, Michael Portillo will be an MP again any minute now. Mind you, where Portillo's concerned, there could always be a cock-up. Let me make myself perfectly clear. I don't want him to win for any reason than the good odds I got at William Hill. After all, we all have to remain impartial. In fact, here, we're legally obliged to mention some of the other candidates. So don't forget, there's also the UK Independence Party, presumably want us to rise up and free ourselves of the shackles of the Russian invaders. Oh. There's also the Referendum Party, who want us to vote for a vote. Then there's the monster-raving Loony Party, whose leader is a cat, the Liberal Democrats, whose leader is fat, and the New Labour Party, whose leader is a twat. But my money's on Michael. Each way? Well, yes, I hear he does. But I'm sure he's had enough of these cracks, so let's crack on with the show. Please welcome the girl who's always right and honourable, Daisy Donovan. Let's just do it here, shall we?
I was just going for a walk.
Later. So, Daisy, who do you want to win the Chelsea by-election?
Ewan McGregor.
Don't think he's actually running in it, Daisy.
OK, Burt Reynolds.
Daisy, have you been following any of the election?
No, but I watch a lot of films. Ask me any question.
OK, who was standing for the Kensington and Chelsea by-election?
Wesley Snipes?
Tell us what's coming up in tonight's show.
It was Wesley Snipes. We'll be saying hello to this man, former Buddy Holly lookalike, Jonathan King.
Everyone's gone to the moon.
And our own international bright young thing, the cat in the condom-shaped hat. Yes, he's back in the US of A.
This is brother Kian, this is brother Derek, and this is brother Ali, representing the West End's Massive in South Central LA. Tune in or I'll pop a cup in your ass. Go!
But first, here are the day's headlines. And tonight's top stories. A low turnout was expected for today's by-election. Michael Portillo's expressed his disappointment that most voters can't be asked.
Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Privileges Commission is set to investigate Portillo's undeclared sausage interest.
General Pinochet celebrates his 85th birthday today. Normally a very thick-skinned man, he's seen plenty of cattle rod testicle fizzling in his time. Ah, my nuts! But I've had it done once, didn't like it. But even he was sickened to the guts by one of the gifts he received.
A huntsman left in intensive care after he was crushed in a fall was handed a card by police saying, "Suffer in agony before dying like the animals you kill." A police spokesman said he was sorry for any distress calls, but it was the only card left in the shop.
Research shows that tall women have the advantage in the workplace. They look cracking in short skirts and they can reach the difficult places.
Convicted Kurdish rebel leader Abdullah Öcalan's sentence was confirmed today. Under Turkish law, his appeal was heard on the Time Lord planet of Gallifrey. He was sentenced to a year washing Daleks.
And those are tonight's headlines.
This has been the worst week for Tory Sleaze since last week.
Here his report on the current Conservative crisis is Alex Lowe.
Tonight, the Tories face their biggest he wanked his way off his kitchen table and onto the front pages. Despite the views of experts, the traditional Tory stronghold of Kensington and Chelsea is under threat as voters turn against the Tories after a week of scandalous revelations. Michael Portillo has already offered a number of excuses if not elected. The confusion of 17 other candidates, the cold weather, public confidence in the Tories, oh, and that bumming thing as well. Hague's week of woe started last Friday when the Blairs scored a PR victory with the announcement they are expecting their 4th child. In an attempt to get a Conservative millennium baby, Hague reacted quickly with the reintroduction of fertile pensioner Cecil Parkinson into his cabinet. Sunday, liar Jeffrey Archer is exposed as a liar in the news of the world. Monday, Hague comes under fire for not putting Jeffrey Archer before the Tories' sleaze-busting Ethics Committee. It is also revealed that the Ethics Committee have, like Lord Archer and that Prosy, apparently never met. Wednesday, the Conservatives claim that Labour have resorted to Watergate-style tactics. A Labour supporter has hacked into their networks and to investigate this are looking to employ a computer expert with popularity at an all-time low in the opinion polls. Tory spin doctors have come up with a 3-point plan to raise his public profile. 1, date Jerry Halliwell and to marry her. 2, get beaten up by Gaza after laughing at another man's jokes. And 3, release 3 albums, then wank at a policeman in an LA toilet. If these measures don't work and the Tories lose tonight, William Hague faces being labelled as the leader with the worst judgment since Neville Chamberlain said, "I've been to see that Hitler, and you know what? It's not such a bad bloke." This is Alex Lowe for the 11 o'clock show, Westminster.
And for an update on that story, we go over live to Alex Lowe at The Count. Alex, have Michael Portillo's chances of winning been affected by the Jeffrey Archer and Michael Ashcroft revelations?
Well, Ian, Portillo described the Archer incident as unhelpful to his campaign. However, Archer's camp rejected this, saying, yeah, and being a thick-lipped Latino ex-bender with halitosis is a vote puller, is it?
And what of the much-vaunted Conservatives' Ethical Policy Committee?
Well, they've worked out a few things. Banning British beef on the bone in case it's dangerous is unethical, whereas selling the world's biggest fucking gun to Saddam Hussein is ethical. Yeah, right.
Thanks very much, Alex Lowe.
Yeah, thanks, Ian.
Now, as part of our jobs, Ian and I have to be on top of the news, and sometimes it's easy to forget that there are some people who don't take any interest in current affairs and haven't got a clue what's going on in the world. Please welcome Ricky Gervais.
Nice and sleazy does it. Nice and sleazy does it. Nice and sleazy does it.
Gervais?
Donovan, Lee, all right?
Mr. Lee.
Sorry.
Gervais, what portion of society are you going to offend today?
Ah, you see, that's where you're wrong. I've turned over a new leaf. In fact, I want to have a go at you two skinny bastards for putting Vanessa through it last night. She has just split up with probably the only person in the world willing to shag it. And you call her a fat, greedy pig. Could be glandular. It's not. But it is just greed. But it's comments like that from glamorous people that can turn people anorexic. What if she is bulimic and she's binging away now because she's depressed? She'll leave out the vomiting bit because her fingers are too fat to get in her mouth. Her head's definitely too big to get down the pan, isn't it? And Dawn French. No, I'm joking. No, seriously. Sorry, Dawn. Sorry, Lenny. Lovely couple. Do you know, though, this is true, that Lenny Henry only got the role of chef because he was experienced in boning large amounts of pork belly. That's libelous. Cut that out. That's not what I'm here. Seriously, though. No.
Did you get on with it?
Yeah. I've been doing this show a few weeks now, and absolutely nothing's come of it. I haven't got any voiceover work, opening supermarkets, not even Night Fever have called. So, and I need the money, so I'm going to do an appeal, right? Instead of sending to charities, send me £1. Okay? Because if all you sent me £1, you see, I could make good use of it. I won't waste it on blankets or an operation.
Ricky, I'm going to stop you there. Sorry, you've got rules here. You can't just go on television and ask them to send you money.
OK, not money. Do a line on the lottery and send me the ticket. And if it wins the jackpot, I'll split it with you.
But if it wins the jackpot, they'll just want to keep the money themselves, not give it to you.
Yeah, but they won't get on telly. I can get them on the show.
Can you?
No. I'm going to shoot off.
Stay there, Gervais. Well, that's the end of the first half. Coming up in part 2, we'll be talking to the king of all Jonathans, Jonathan King.
And Ali G will be straight out of Staines and straight into Compton when he meets former gang member Alejandro Alonso.
But first, sports news. And at the UK Snooker Championship in Bournemouth, there were complaints today over the ability of the first female referee. Concern first arose when she was asked to re-spot a red.
And as you join us here, Hendry leads by 3 frames to 2.
See you after the break. Welcome back to the 11 o'clock show. Now, it's been a good week for dictators, old and new. Today is General Pinochet's birthday, so if you're watching Augusto, happy birthday and get well soon so you can be imprisoned for life.
It's also looking up for Hitler. He may be the world's most hated dead man, but that hasn't stopped the Taiwanese from trying to use him to sell a range of heaters, using the slogan, "Declare war on the cold front."
That ad has now been withdrawn, which is actually a shame, since a whole range of tyrant tie-ins are due on the market. For instance, the hungry despot in a hurry might like Mussolini cuisine.
Or, of course, there's Pol Pot noodle. Tasty, but there is a warning on the side of the pack. Caution, this product may contain bones.
And once you've filled your face, you'll want to get in trim. We've had sexercise and boxercise. Now, here's Slobodan Milosevic's Genocide, in which the Serbian despot demonstrates how to keep fit by chasing families from their homes with guns. Great, no pain, no gain, huh?
And finally, cereal manufacturers have jumped on the bandwagon with this rival version of Sugar Puffs, in place of the hilarious Honey Monster, using Ugandan monster Idi Amin. Instead of saying, "Tell them about the honey, mummy," he's got the catchy slogan, "I have killed thousands."
Oh, that's so cute.
Lovely. The world of rock and pop is a curious thing. One minute you're Gary Glitter on Top of the Pops, the next thing you're having a pop and a tot on your laptop, and you're sharing a cell with Jonathan Aitken.
But there is one man who's managed to maintain a 30-year career in rock and roll and stayed sleaze-free. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan King.
I'm all right. I'm not sure I like the definition stayed sleaze-free. I thought I was sleaze.
Have you got sleaze, Jonathan?
I am sleaze. I
Tell
look
us about
sleaze.
it.
Look at me. Sheer pure sleaze.
You've claimed responsibility for some of the worst records and discovering the worst bands in history.
I'm afraid I have done so, yes.
Now, we're going to read some charges against you.
OK.
And you have to say guilty, not guilty.
Which of these following records do you claim responsibility for? Leap up and down, brackets, wave your knickers in the air.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Cost me 50 quid to make. I made £400,000 profits, and I'm a fool.
Well, that's not a bad deal. OK, Father Abrafart, lick a smurp for Christmas.
Yes, I'm afraid so. That was
No.
during the Mad Smurf phase that went on. And
Like
there was
a
new...
Smurf?
Yeah, the Smurfs. Remember the Smurfs, right? Well, when the Smurfs were big, they discovered that the paint that the little toys were painted in had lead in it. And the children, if they got a Smurf and they licked it, would actually die. I, being a sick person, found this highly amusing. So I recorded Lick a Smurf for Christmas, All Fall Down. I had to change the F to a P so I could get away with it. And it sold terribly well.
OK, finally, Cliff Richard's Millennium Prayer.
I'm not actually responsible for Cliff Richard. There's only one person responsible for Cliff, and that's God.
Yeah. OK, now, when we're talking about people's least favourite songs, it's, you know, it's quite easy to mention some of yours. But without mentioning yours, what records do you hate?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Paul McCartney, I have to say.
Oh, really?
No.
Why is that?
Well, he's made some of the worst records in humanity, hasn't he? Ever since he lost the Beatles, I mean, ever since he moved away, I mean, surely one of arguably the worst record ever made is Mull of Kintyre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's trash.
You apparently called him bland, simplistic and soulless.
Publicly, I'm very nice to him.
But you called it bland, simplistic and soulless, and you wrote Una Pluna Blanca.
I didn't write it, I recorded it,
Oh, you
but I
recorded
do
it.
take your point.
Thank you very much. Now, going back to the McCartney thing, there's a new charity single out later this month with a Macca connection. It's called Voice, and it's by celebrity amputee Heather Mills. Let's have a quick look and tell us what you think.
Dear, oh
That is going to scare kids, surely. But what do you
Scared me, I can tell you.
What do you think of the song, though? Do you like it?
It sounded to me like an absolute #1 smash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan King. Cheers, Jonathan. Thanks a lot. I've got to ask you, do you think that Darwin was right?
I don't know. What did he reckon?
You've not read Origin of the Species?
Oh, no, I don't read books. I'd rather spend my time with animals.
And what do you like about them?
I don't know. It's just the way they evolve over time. The weak ones die, the strong survive. I call it natural selection. It's brilliant.
Well, a report out today claims that human beings have stopped evolving. And you made a report about it, didn't you, Daisy?
Fuck me, so I did.
A report out today reveals that humans have stopped evolving because we have so many creature comforts. We don't need to grow a winter coat like dogs. We simply turn up the central heating. But isn't this pampered lifestyle against the laws of nature? I've come to London to find out. If you had a child, would you turn off the central heating to get your child accustomed to sleeping in the cold?
Yeah, of course, but I don't have a child. But I
But
don't...
if you did,
Yeah.
of course you'd turn off the central heating.
Yeah.
And that would enable it to grow a hairy back to then keep it warm to sleep in a bush.
Well, I don't think it would grow a hairy back straight away.
No, it would.
It would?
Yeah. Do you like enjoy queuing in a supermarket queue?
No.
Exactly. Neither does anybody. Now, if we weren't so pampered, if we didn't have all of those foods and trolleys and aisles, we'd actually be able to go out and hunt our own crispy pancakes in the wild.
But there isn't enough wild.
Don't you want your crispy pancakes? You'd say, there it is, I'll go and get it.
Yeah, fine, but there are too many of us to do that now.
We'd all manage, share and share alike.
Sorry, I can't
I'd share
agree with
my
that.
crispy pancake with you.
Would you? If there was only one between 500? I doubt it.
If you're going to go on a date, you have to do a lot of work to get a lady into bed. Now, don't you think, if we're going to go back to animals, why not be a cat? You'd piss on a tree and you'd take her down the alley. Straight away, bish bash bosh, you got her.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree with that.
How long did it take you to get dressed this morning?
About 5 minutes.
Now that's if you'd been a woolly goat,
I wouldn't have needed to get dressed.
no, and you could have spent that time wanking. 5 minutes to dress, or 5 minutes to wank as a goat.
No. I'm a big goat. I can't walk like a goat.
So I've already decided what animal I'm going to be. A bat. This has been Daisy Donovan for the 11 o'clock show, London.
Ian, have you ever been in a gang?
Yeah, I was. It was brilliant. I was just like the Fonzie. Eee!
Wow, were you the leader?
No, I was just much older than the others and made them meet in a toilet.
One man who wouldn't be frightened of Richie Cunningham's dad is ex-leader of the Rolling 60s gang in South Central Los Angeles, Alejandro Alenzo. And one man who would, that's Ali G.
Yeah, you don't stop. It goes out to the crew up top. That's it.
Check it, IZ in South Central LA to meet ex-gang member Alejandro Alonso to talk about guns and tin. Check it. So how many gang members is there in the whole of LA?
Well, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, for 1998, there were about 150,000 gang members.
Respect. We've only got 8 in the West End's massive.
8 what?
8 people in the West End's massive. Is it true if you wear sandals on these streets, you can get killed by another gang?
Never heard of that.
Is it like in Staines, where if you wear Fila, everyone thinks you're a bit of a knob end?
There's a little bit of that. There's a lot about if you dress a particular way that you already are identified as being part of the counterculture.
It is to do with colours here as well, is that right?
Well, colors is sort of the division between Bloods and Crips, and the color aspect has really been highlighted through the media.
What would happen if your mum did a wash and you put in your pants in there or whatever, and she put in one of her red sweaters and all your clothes come out red, even though you was in the blues? What would you do then?
Probably the person whose clothes got all discolored would probably throw his clothes out and go buy some more. Some of the...
Yeah, but the mum will be well miffed about that.
Yeah, definitely.
What would have happened, let's say, if your nan had knitted you like a red sweater or something, and you was in the blue Crips? What would you do?
Well, the person would never wear it in the first place.
But then His nan had like spent ages.
They wouldn't care. They would probably throw it out, or they would tell her, do it my favorite color, which is blue.
Yeah, but then you will make the nan feel bad and whatever, and you're making your own grandma feel like rubbish.
Well, I don't think they're really concerned about making someone in their family feel bad about the color.
Right.
If I was in a situation like that, I'd probably take it, but not wear it.
But they will always check, you know? They will always check to see if they've spent that long knitting something for you, and I was talking from personal experience. They're going to check that you was wearing that.
Well, I personally don't know anyone who's ever had a sweater knitted for them. So maybe in England it's a little different than here it is in the States.
So, where's we now?
We're in the heart of A-Trade Gangster Crip neighborhood, which is located between Florence Avenue and Western, pretty much in the center of the city.
What do you get when you join a gang? Do you get a free gun?
You don't get material objects.
Is it like when we joined the Nat West Club, we got like free our price record vouchers and that kind of thing? Can you get those kind of things?
To go and shop somewhere?
Oh, cool.
I've never heard of that.
So, do they ever twin gangs with gangs abroad?
I'm not sure what you mean by that question.
Well, is it possible to like twin the Crips with the West End's Massive or the Black West End's Massive?
That'd probably be very complicated because of the distance. It's probably, what, about 8,000 miles from there to here?
But it would mean that when they went over to England or whatever, they would have somewhere to stay, and we could go on like trips and like do orienteering and go go-karting and that kind of thing.
I'm not too sure that the people here would be interested in go-karting and
What
traveling.
about canoeing and abseiling?
Nah, they probably want to stay here. They probably want to make their money here and get involved in their business ventures here.
Is there like initiations in the gang?
Yeah, they got different types of initiations for the different types of ethnic groups.
In some of the gangs in England, you was made to eat a sausage from someone's exit hole. Is that happen here at all?
Nah, that sounds like something they would do here in the fraternities and colleges.
So, what is the toughest initiation for any of the gangs?
It all depends on what that individual can bear.
In the West End's Massive, we used to go into the corner shop and nick like a Mars bar and Milky Ways, and nick one of the Staines and Egham Herald News. Does you do that kind of thing here?
I think it's a little bit more complicated than snatching up a few candy bars here.
Is there any difference between the gangs and, let's say, the Scouts?
The Boy Scouts? There's some fundamental differences. Well, I don't think Boy Scouts have a defined turf or territory.
But do you have like a leader, like an Arkela in a gang?
Certain gangs do have a hierarchical structure in terms of leader. You have YGs or young gangsters, the ones that are coming up that want to be OG.
So they is like the little boys who was just going into the Boy Scouts, was getting like their 25-meter swimming thing and they help the age.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
For tonight's show.
But finally, ahead of tomorrow's BBC Children in Need show, there's controversy as Bristol school kids attempt a 24-hour charity Gary Glitterthon.
Good night.
Well, our apologies for the odd interruption on screen during part 1 of the 11 o'clock show. We do hope it didn't spoil your enjoyment.